Mansion, and now it's a wasteland. Our days of reckless fun are through.
Hey, I'm Craig, and today for the Surfboard Guide, we're going to check out the Hypto Krypto by Haydenshapes Surfboards.
To obey. Sex, drugs, and fun is the room is not a care. Another swing of booze, another rover, not a bear. House of the filthy, house at a home. House of destruction, where the birds roam. House that belongs to all the homeless kids. House of the filthy, house at a home. House of destruction, where the birds roam. House that belongs to all the homeless kids. Kids at the black hole.
So the Hypto Krypto we're riding is a 5.7, and it's custom at 5.7 by 20 by 2.5 and exactly 30.75 litres. So Hypto Krypto is definitely not a new model. It's been around, I think, for around 10 years. You've probably seen a lot of them in the water. Really popular from everyone from the kind of beginner surfers right through to quite, advanced surfers. You might have seen some footage of like Craig Anderson and stuff surfing in some really kind of like big waves at Desert Point and I think like Namibia and different stuff like that. Because of that sort of stuff, I was pretty keen to check one out because I've seen a real kind of disparity in people that rode it through from kind of real beginner sort of surfers who were probably jumping into their first kind of fiberglass surfboard through to some people that absolutely rip, like Craig Anderson and some of the other Haydenshapes team. So I was really keen to check one out and kind of see where it sat with everything. So having a look over the Hypto Krypto, it has a fairly flat rocker. There's not too much, it's fairly flat through the board. It's just got a little bit of nose lift, just enough to kind of keep it out of the water. And flipping it over, it's actually quite interesting. It has a really kind of light V through the front here. It has a single concave through the center, a double that comes through the fins, and then the double continues through the fins, and it just has a light V. So I got the Hypto Krypto a little while ago, and I've been kind of just frothing a surf one. I've been watching them in the water, like I said, beginner surfers, intermediate, through to like some super advanced surfers riding them. And I was kind of keen to see how it would go. So I've surfed it in good, bad, and in different waves, little slabs, sucky waves, onshore dribble, just to really push the thing and see how it goes. And I kind of came to a conclusion. I was actually out one day and I gave 2 friends a go. We all had a bit of a go on it, and we kind of broke it up into 2 boards. We kind of called it the reverse mullet. I think people might know that a mullet is known as business in the front and party in the back. Well, I kind of thought this was party in the front. It's got a lot of volume, it's really flat, it's really easy to get in the waves and really into surf. And it's actually business at the back. This tail really thins out. There's a little bit of lift, but you can actually jump back on it and jam it like as if you're on some sort of high performance shortboard. So like I said, I've been riding in a whole bunch of waves, and I was actually kind of shocked how well this thing will go in, say, like 1 foot kind of dribble when you just want to get into things. And what makes that work is this kind of volume up the front. It also has a nice little beak, so that kind of holds a lot of volume under the front and lets the nose slim out a little bit. But like I said, you get down the line, you got a bit of pace, even in those small junky waves, or when it's a lot better, you jump back on that tail. As I mentioned, at the tail, there's a lot of width through the board, but this tail narrows in to quite a kind of narrow pintail. And I think you can even see there with the tail pad, it's almost hanging over the sides of the tail. So it actually comes into quite a narrow tail, which makes the board really responsive and really, really quite maneuverable. And also there's a nice little bit of tail lift just off the back, just a bit of flip so you can kind of jump on that and just jam it in some really good turns. When I was, I think, filming for the review, you might see in a few waves, we had a really fun rip bowl. I don't know what it looked like in the footage, but it's kind of 2 to 4 foot, some fat sections and some sections where you stand up and you could do some turns. And this thing was absolutely epic. Like I said, you can ride this from 1 foot through to, we've seen people surfing in like 6 to 8 foot kind of pumping conditions. But I think the conditions you'll see in the video footage we have is exactly when I grabbed this board. It was kind of like I said, 2 to 4 foot, a rip bowl where you could do multiple turns. You had to get across flat sections. And this thing was epic. You just kind of jump up the board to where I said that the party was and all that volume. and this thing would just skate across sections with ease. You'd make it across sections you normally wouldn't get across. And then when the wave would stand up and you get a bit of push or a bit of vert in the wave, you jump back on that tail and you could just jam it into some epic turns, and it felt like you're on that high performance shortboard, something that's a bit more performance, and you can really kind of light it up. In the Hypto Krypto, I've actually been riding a whole bunch of fins, but what I felt sat really well with this is the Haydenshapes HS1 by Futures. So this has a V2 foil, so it's actually a speed generating fin from their Generation series. So in those smaller kind of average conditions, it'll pull water through and it kind of produces a bit more speed and drive than say a flatter foiled fin, and that was epic. What I also surfed in it was two fins that I go to in most of my boards. When I wanted to give it a bit more of a shortboard feel, say when waves are around 3-4 foot to overhead, the large Almerics, the AM2s, felt amazing in it, and also the large John Tech Flexes, they felt really good. But this was a really good fin for when waves are smaller and you wanted a bit more speed generated out of your surfing. With the Hypto Krypto, the volume was 30.75 litres. So this sits at roughly about a litre more than my shortboards, and this felt perfect. That little extra litre of foam is just enough to kind of get you into waves a little bit earlier, make paddling and getting across flat sections really easy, but not too much that made the board feel boaty and too big. Because actually when I ordered it, I went and had a chat with Hayden and we kind of looked at the 5.6, because I think in stock it comes in a 5.6 and then it comes in a 5.8. And the 5.6 I thought might be a tad bit small, and the 5.8 felt really too big under my arm. So what we came to was a 5.7 that sat in the middle, and having a chat with him, picking the board up, it's just felt absolutely amazing. Like I said, the Hypto Krypto is not new. It's been around for a long time, and I'm sure you've seen one in the water or in a shop. And I must say, it's been an epic board to check out. I've been watching people surf, like I said, beginners through to super advanced surfers for like almost 10 years now, and always been really keen to check one out. I had a lot of fun on it, and hopefully you get the chance to check one out too. Thanks so much for watching today.